So I'm at the Harley Street Skin Clinic and I'm about to see Dr. Khan and I'm to do a Morpheus 8 on the upper lip, and I'm going to get him to explain exactly what it is and why I'm really hoping it's going to work.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Should we sit down for a moment and you can explain what Morpheus 8 is?
Okay. Right. So we talked about the Morpheus 8. Morpheus 8 is a microneedling device combined with radiofrequency. We know that radiofrequency is the gold standard for skin regeneration, skin rejuvenation and skin tightening. And the reason for that is that it's very, very controlled. We can control how much energy we put in. And with this new technology, we can also determine exactly where we put that little packet of energy into the skin. So we can target subdermally into the subdermal fat pad, where you've got fibrous bands which can be tightened. So certainly under here, if you've got a little bit of a fat pad, you can reduce the fat and tighten up the bands. We can target the deep dermis, where it creates a little bit of inflammation.
Right.
And that little bit of inflammation stimulates a regenerative response. So increased collagen and regeneration. We can target the actual junctional layer, where you've got the cells, and that will stimulate more of a cellular regeneration, so that the skin can become thicker and younger. And then we can target the superficial parts of the dermis, near the epidermis, which will give us resurfacing. So any fine lines and wrinkles we can reduce and shrink the skin.
Now, the Morpheus 8 has got quite a lot of publicity. The first time I read about it was Andy Murray's mum, Judy. It was all over the papers because she had done a Morpheus 8 all over her face and looked truly rejuvenated.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I heard about it. I did hear it was extremely painful. So what I'm trying to do is obviously my upper lip, which has definitely become a lot more lined in the last year, I would say. I mean, I had the beginnings, but it seems to have really escalated. So I am a bit of a coward. I'm not doing it all over the face. I am just targeting this area and just below. And I have read about that from other people as well, that as you've just said, that combination of microneedling, which I have done here before, and I do like, and I did get a little result, but it's combined, the microneedling combined with the radio frequency. So how many will I need to do?
What we've got to realise is, as we get older, our ability to regenerate and reverse the processes that are causing damage diminishes.
Yes, and we've spoken about that before, because a lot of people, a lot of doctors, we spoke about that, say that all these treatments and tweakments that one has become less and less effective with age.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yes, I look after my skin, but I'm in my 60s, so, I might need more treatments.
Yeah. So, as we age, there is a point beyond which we don't want to do any destructive treatments, any ablative treatments.
Oh, right. And what age is that?
I'd say when you're into your 70s. Now, it varies from person to person.
Right.
It depends on genetics, it depends on lots of different things. But as a rule of thumb, we just want to do regeneration after that.
Right.
So it's even more important to do the little small treatments as we're going through our aging process to stay in good shape. Because if we've got to do a lot, and we need that ablation, then we may compromise healing and the skin may just break down.
Right.
So
gosh, time is running out then.
Not really. So, as a rule of thumb,
yes,
I would say one treatment per decade. Okay? So, if you're in your 50s, you're looking at 4 to 5 treatments. If you're in your 60s, you're looking at 5 to 6 treatments. That's by combining a tiny bit of ablation with the needling,
yes,
and that in itself sets up a regenerative process. And we're removing tissue, because if you punch a hole in, we remove that bit of tissue, so everything shrinks down a little bit.
Right.
And then the coagulation stimulates the regeneration. So I think you would start off with possibly 3 treatments,
Right.
and then review.
Fantastic. Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm about to do my first Morpheus 8. I mean, I could do it all over my face, but I want to see how painful it is, because I've heard it is a little painful. So I've obviously had my numbing cream, and I'm just going for the upper lip, which is the area that is definitely bothering me the most, and has definitely got more lined in the last year. So fingers crossed. Here he comes with his little gun.
I've got my little gun here.
Okay, so you've got, so it's like a microneedling.
Yes.
And
Let me just...
hopefully this will be very quick.
Yes.
No.
So it's a much better technology than the old Fractora.
Yes.
Good.
So am I red?
Very slightly.
Very slightly. So I can expect a little bit of
another
red.
more shallow one.
So we're just, this is a more superficial one,
Okay, that's it. It's all done.
Okay.
Well done.
Yes. No, it don't. To be honest, I'm not sure I could do that all over my face. That's enough.
What we would do is, if you
Yeah.
were doing it all over your face, you'd either have a little bit of twilight sedation
Right.
with an anaesthetist, or we would
Yes,
do
I think.
some nerve blocks and inject anesthesia.
Oh,
Okay, so I'm just going to put some stem cell serum. This will help settle it
okay.
more quickly. A little bit of redness around.
And the nurse said to not wash it, to just wash it with vinegar water or saline water,
Just saying.
and then put
Put some Vaseline on.
some Vaseline
I'm
on.
going to show you. So it looks
Okay.
a little bit red.
It's a little bit red. I'll show you tomorrow what it looks like. So I've just come back from the Harley Street Skin Clinic, and it was quite painful, and it stung, and I felt quite hot. So I presumed I was very red, but I mean, I've literally just driven home. It's taken an hour, and I'm going to come close. So A, you can see my lines, and B, you can see that all the redness is gone, which is pretty unbelievable. So, because I mean, I am a bruiser, and not that you would get bruising from this, but I would think if there's any marking or redness, I'm going to get it. So I'll have a look. If there's anything to see tomorrow, I'll film it. If not, I won't. But yeah, so I have high hopes of this, because these lines above here, which really I had very faintly, but this year, they've really become a lot more apparent. I mean, I think the pandemic has basically aged me. So, you know, here I am, I'm in my 60s, and I guess it's time. So I've got them. I've got the dreaded barcode lines, and I've heard good things about Morpheus 8, which is, as Dr. Khan said, it's a combination of microneedling, which is one of the best things you can do for your upper lip anyway, combined with radio frequency. So apparently that is the magic combination. So I will do at least 3 treatments, and we'll see. We will see what happens, but fingers crossed this is going to work. I'm very pleased I'm not red. I mean, I could go out right now. I mean, I don't have any makeup on this area. I haven't touched it at all since I've walked in the door. So yeah, that's really good. I'm sitting here with Dr. Khan, and I've come here for my second Morpheus 8. I was last here, I think, about 8 weeks ago.
Yes.
I'm going to do my second one. I was just telling him that I can't really see a difference, but you're saying that after this one you think I will.
You'll start seeing a difference. Now, the regenerative aspect to Morpheus 8 starts at about 3 weeks, but it starts to peak between 8 and 13 weeks, and that's why we're doing this treatment around this time now. So we're catching it peak on peak, and it's a progressive improvement. You're not going to see, because it's a deep treatment, you're not going to see an immediate change as one would with a total resurfacing of the skin,
right.
because that's a superficial treatment. But this catches up because it's regenerating, it's making the skin healthier, younger, and it will last a lot longer as well.
Great. And what is the optimum time between appointments? Because mine has been 8 weeks.
It's 8 weeks, anything between 8 and 13 weeks.
Oh, so you can leave it as long as that?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, round 2 coming up. I just got back from the clinic after doing session number 2 of the Morpheus 8. I have to say it was more painful this time. And Dr. Khan said he went a little deeper. And yeah, so I feel that I had no redness by the time I got home last time. I feel it's a little sort of mottled looking this time. And I'll wait another sort of, 8 to 10 weeks between each appointment. So I'll do that and fingers crossed. So he's saying that I should start to see a little bit of a result now, because I haven't really seen anything yet, to be honest. So fingers crossed. Today is my third and final treatment of Morpheus 8, which I've been doing just on the upper lip. And I just wanted to fill you in with a couple of things. So what I found, because I said, oh, look, there's nothing, it's not red. But what I actually found is that I did have a bit of redness. And then the last time I had it done, I actually, for a few days, because he does there and there, and I came out in a few little spots in this area, which was quite odd. And I mean, they weren't huge, but they were just, I was very aware of them. They were there. And then they lasted a good few days. And then they disappeared. And then I could see where they'd been. And I thought, oh, well, I hope that's not going to stay there. But it didn't. So for about a week, there was just a bit of something there. Nothing I couldn't cover up. I mean, I continued to film, so it wasn't a big issue. But I just wanted to be clear about that. And also, I am finding that when I've had the Morpheus 8, the skin feels dry. So it does feel very dry. Your skin doesn't go back to normal, and I would say about a week. But once again, it's nothing that you can't cover up. It's nothing that's a major problem, but just so that you're aware, there is a little bit of change. And for me, I mean, I don't know if that's just me or if anybody else gets these little spots, but just over here, because he did this area as well. I didn't have any spots here, funnily enough, just here. But anyway, just to say, so there was a little reaction. It wasn't a big one, and it all cleared up after about a week, but just so that you know. So it's been about 6 weeks since I finished my Morpheus 8 treatments. So what's the verdict and what's the result? Well, as you know, I only did it in this area on the upper lip, which, by the way, is the most difficult area. Once you've got lines there, that is the most difficult area to treat. So I have seen a very, very slight softening of the lines. The lines are very much still there, as I did expect them to be, because it's not a magic treatment. But I was hoping for more of a result. To be completely honest, I really was. However, I do think that my age has got a lot to do with it, because I'm in my 60s. And I just want to say that I do know people who are in their 40s and early 50s who have had a fantastic result with Morpheus 8 and absolutely swear by it. So I would say that if you're in that age range, then yes, I do think it's worth going for it and spending the money. If you're in your late 50s or 60 mark, well, if you have the funds and you can afford it, then yes, I'd probably go for it. However, if you're any older and you're my sort of age, I would say this is not the best way to spend your money, because the result has been minimal. Also, there are so many other things at play in our skin. Hormones in women in particular. Estrogen plays a huge role. And that's something that I'm looking into right now, because it's actually something that's affected me, and I'll explain all in another video. And I think it's got a lot to do with why I've quite suddenly got all these lines here. So that is something that I will be looking at and talking about. I'm in the process of dealing with it, and when I get more information, I'll share it with you. And I'll also be looking to see if there's another route to go where I will get more of a result. And if there is, I will find it and I will share it with you.